Praise be to the Holy Father. In the name of Yeshua, as these days are come upon us, I ask for your holiness and your righteousness to shine down upon us. For the days of Rosh Hashanah is now, just only a few days away, and the books will be open. And I'm asking you right now, in the name of Yeshua, to forgive us of our sins. And Father, I'm asking to forgive me and show me if I have hurt people or done anything that should not have been done. And to forgive them and them forgive me. For you are the glorious one. In the name of Yeshua, hallelujah. Praise and holy name. I'm coming tonight because the Spirit of the Rukadesh is really impressing on me to bring forth this message. It is of the pale horse, and it has already begun to ride, but there's one thing that as I was searching and he was leading me to all the horses, that the pale horse in Greek is really green. And it's a pale green. And it's a name of a woman, Shiloh. And her name means young green sprout. She is a goddess in the Greek belief, and her brother, who rides behind her, is Hell. In Greek mythology, Hell is her brother, and so Hell would ride behind her, bringing with her great disaster, plagues, famine. And as I was studying, the Rukadesh plainly showed me that in 1348, simply 40 years after the great, 30 years after the great famine, the pale horse was let loose. And as she was let loose, the Black Death come up. Some said in South America, in Africa, and some said in China. But most believe that it began in China when the hordes was invading China. Because during this time was many wars, even through the Great Famine, wars went on. All the way through the recovery, as they recovered from the Great Famine, there was wars, and then this plague broke out. Both took over half of the population at that time in England, France, also Russia and Germany. And the persecution of the Jews never did stop during this time. The reason why they assume that it did not touch the Jewish people, especially the Black Death, because it did go down into Israel. The famine didn't, the Great Famine didn't, but the Black Death did. But the Jews have been so isolated, they had drove them into ghettos, sort of like when Hitler had put them in ghettos, and isolated them from people because they didn't want them to contaminate their people. And the Black Death come upon them and has been riding off and on throughout the ages. We've seen it when the flu struck here in America in 1819, I believe. I didn't write it down, but it was somewhere in there. I was listening to a history channel, and it just showed that it was tips of the Black Death of the pale horse riding again in a different form. It will come back again, and this is a warning that I'm trying, that the Rosh Hashanah wants to know, because the bride is going to be taken soon, and when she's gone, all of this is going to come together in a great climax because of total rebellion, because of everyone coming up against Israel and the Jewish nation people right now. This couldn't have happened until 1948 when they become a nation. And since they become a nation, it's just been totally chaos and wars again. They were attacked on every side, and still Yeshua and Yahweh protected them. Put a shield around them, protect them. It's a forewarning and a foretelling of what will happen as soon as the bride is gone, and she's going to be gone soon. This world has to know that these 4 horses have already been riding. We see the Roman Catholic Church and all of her offsprings, her children. We see that the Muslims are growing more and more with their Islam belief, and it is the 2 main religions of today, and they're growing stronger and stronger, and they're fighting against each other. But the one thing that even Christians go up against is the Jewish nation, because they believe they have taken the place of Israel. Wrong, 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 wrong. Yeshua is coming after his bride that has been chosen and set forth for this time to be taken up. When this happens, the restraint will be taken away, and then the unholy one will come and be manifest. I fully believe that that presence is here on this earth right now, but it cannot be manifested until the bride is taken. And when the bride is taken, all of those horses will come together in one lump sum, because we know that Christianity is here. We know that Islam is here. We've seen the black horse run. We've seen the pale horse run, and they will run again collectively. The only thing that is restraining them and holding them back from materializing and coming in full force is the bride. And we can also, I can see it. Oh, Father, pour out your Spirit upon your people. Put your hand upon your people and bring them forth, and put your covering upon your bride at this time, because she's soon going home. Oh, so many is going to be left behind, because the false bride is out there, and she just thinking that she's going to get to go, but she is wrong. She is going to be left behind, but only the true bride is going to go. And I plead the blood. I plead the blood on your bride, and I speak forth these words. Put on your garments, my precious bride. Put on your garments, for I am coming soon for you. And in that day and in that hour, it's now at hand. In the name